Well, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants, and I'm here with Fridays with Sandy, the first Friday of the new year. Let's hope it's a good one, right, Sandy?
Shalom, John. Happy New Year. Why don't you introduce our candidate? I like to get
Indeed.
I like to get FaceTime for everyone immediately here.
I like that too. Arya is a engineer. He got his mechanical engineering degree from Purdue University. He's got great stats in a really difficult subject. Obviously, I would never be able to even get a C in mechanical engineering. He got a 3.64. His
Okay, Ira,
GMAT,
I think you mentioned that it's even better. You say top academic standing for every semester of attendance. What does that mean?
So for every semester of attendance, I had either a dean's list or a semester honor standing, and I graduated on the dean's list.
great.
So you're using the word top there. You don't mean number one. You just mean very high.
Top
Yes,
five,
the top
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 10%.
percentile. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
got a 750 GMAT, which is awfully impressive.
Thank you.
He's currently working as an engineer for IDEX Corporation. They do industrial equipment, and they are a worldwide global company.
Business schools might like that, no, John?
Yeah, I think so, because there aren't that many people who do real work like that.
Right.
And his targets are NYU Stern, Chicago Booth, Northwestern Kellogg, and Wharton. Clearly, you have a thing for Chicago.
My natural habitat.
And his post MBA goal, he clearly hates engineering, okay? Because he wants to go into investment banking.
Okay, John, question for you, both as reality and admission strategy. Is that a good thing to say?
I think because he's applying early and he only has a year and a half of work experience full time, I think it's a good thing to be upfront and admit, you know what, I did well in engineering academically, but this is not my bag.
How about engineering leadership?
Well, he hasn't had the time as a very young person right out of school to have a leadership opportunity, I'm assuming.
No, as a goal rather than in. My
Oh,
point is investment banking comes out of no place in his background. Seems like it's whatever they call
mercenary.
it, dream, not well, popular. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And in his case, it could be just sort of unfounded dreaming. There's nothing behind it.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know Arya very well, but what little I do know of him is he's the kind of guy investment bankers love. First off, you
Yeah,
know,
I don't care about investment bankers. Who do we care about, John?
admission officials.
And there's a big difference.
That's
It's
true.
critical.
That's true. So you're saying that he should change his goal because it may seem like too much of a reach or too much out of nowhere
It
for an
seems unfounded. It seems there's a slightly obscene term for this that I thankfully can't recall, but it seems like he's daydreaming.
Hmm.
And it's because it's unfounded, because it's known to a lot of people. It's a kind of a dream career. People associate and people associate it with, working hard, not liking it, and making a lot of money.
Yeah, so you know, I buy all that. You might want to say you want to be a consultant. It doesn't mean you want to be a consultant. You might just tell them you want to be a consultant.
You'd be a much better. I would say I want to be an impactful leader in
Industrial
engineering, industrial revitalization, blah blah blah, whatever, industry 2, whatever the right.
You want to say you want to work for Accenture or A.T. Kearney, a firm
or
like
a boutique
work for
consulting
industrial
firm.
companies.
Yeah, that's a better way to present yourself than investment banking.
And then as soon as you get there, you follow the investment banking track.
Nobody cares.
And this is, I think it's important too, because you're 23 years old. You have a year and a half of full-time experience. The schools you're applying to typically are admitting people who have at least 3 years full-time experience. Up to 5 years is a sweet spot. So clearly that's the red flag, right, Sandy?
Yeah, this guy touches all the bases except he's on the young side. You've got like a 750 GMAT that has got great splits.
Fantastic.
That's good. A 364 in a STEM subject. Schools are really avid to find STEM talent. That's why saying you want to go to investment banking is a sour note.
And at one of the best universities for engineering as well, Purdue.
Yeah, and a classy background and a good story. I don't know what schools will make out of IDEX. They don't, people from IDEX is the way to say it. People don't typically apply, but they're welcome. The schools want to have another corporate, they'd be happy to take you. It's a big company.
Plus, there are things about you that I really like. I'm going to tell you, I like the fact that you were an actor at Purdue and you played Biff in Death of a Salesman. I like the fact that you were the team captain of your cricket team. And believe me or not, that's super important for a lot of AdCom people. They love people who have leadership positions in collegiate sports.
Captain of a team, of a varsity team, is a big deal.
Yeah,
at business school, it ain't no joke. Yeah,
that's good.
You should stress that. Presenting yourself as a leader. Okay, so Purdue. You say that people don't apply to business schools.
From Purdue, yes. From IDEX, I haven't had the chance to explore that avenue as much. And from what I have seen, I haven't seen many people do that.
Yeah, okay, John. 3.6, 750, STEM background, captain of the cricket team. What three letters am I thinking of?
I know, but I think he's too early for those three letters.
Well, let's
thinking of Harvard Business School.
Yeah, you should apply to Harvard, man. You've got a background. They aside from being the Indian male, which is a big bucket, everything else about you is really stuff they're looking for.
Wow.
Yeah, that is true. The other thing about this is, I think that they would like that he's working for really, a nuts and bolts
B2B, right? Yeah,
company. Because they don't get enough people like that.
Yeah, that's right. The IDEX thing is a plus.
But what about the full-time work experience? So we have a candidate who, at matriculation, would
that's
only
the important point.
How many years?
Two. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Almost two. Yeah.
Almost, but not quite. How is there a way to get around that? Because that's going to be the single biggest red flag in this application. Is there a way to get around it by emphasizing some work experience or internships you may have had during undergrad?
It's a way. Sure, it helps to say I've had a lot of work experience, and you've had some great internships. The way to get around it for you is to say I want to be a leader in engineering, not an investment banker, and I've had enough flipping work, and what I want to do is now get MBA training and then go back to some rotational leadership program at a leading engineering company like Google comes to mind, And by the way, you might also think about doing that.
That's true. Now, what we're trying to do is create a story for you to tell that is convincing for an admissions committee.
Okay.
I'm trying to do more than that. I'm also trying to change your mind, man. Really, be open to that.
Wait, are you down on iBankers?
Yeah. No, I'm not down on iBankers.
I'm not.
Why? Well, okay. Here's a question for you. Why do you want to be in finance? Why do you want to be in investment?
Good question.
That's a good question. And my experience in my engineering school, I really got drawn onto case competitions very early on. And as I started doing those, we had a lot of opportunities of analyzing new ventures, analyzing merger opportunities. And when I actually dived into that kind of work, I got the chance to interact with actual investment bankers from big names, big companies. And when I spoke to them, it seemed like a very exciting job, especially for a young boy like myself getting out of school. It does seem like a very attractive opportunity to learn from.
A+ on the explanation. Wonderful explanation. You could make sure if you stick with finance and banking, explain it that way. That I met these people, they showed me what the possibilities were, how it added value, its impact on new ventures, on reviving old ventures. It combined analytics and subjective work, and it just seemed like very exciting.
I also like the context here. He met these people through case competitions.
Yeah.
Which of course is a key part of the business school experience. And more than that, gives me a little indication of how competitive you are, along with the cricket playing and being the team captain there, which they're going to like. Yeah, here's the other thing. You come across as a very mature and serious young man, much more mature than we would typically see in a 23-year-old. Am I right, Sandy?
Yeah, he presents very well, without giggles, without excess energy, without digression. He's right to the point. He really presents like a centered, mature guy who knows what he's doing.
So you get into the interview stage, and I think you could allay any concerns about the.
You're going to do very well. That answer you gave about why you're interested in investment banking, that was an interview question. That was a hard question. Your answer was terrific. At Stern are very good. At Stern, you've got to kind of convince them you want to come. So you got to, I don't know if this is still possible, but visit if the mask, if the virus thing dies down, or make inquiries or meet with alums. What do you think of Booth? 750 and this story?
I think he's got a good story. I think the thing holding him back at Wharton, Booth, and Kellogg will be the work experience. And here's the deal. You may be trading, if they accept you, you're going to trade something for that. And you may trade scholarship money. Where you apply to NYU, you probably should get a scholarship with a 750. You should be looking at Cornell, which has a fantastic investment banking track for people and has money, and you could get some money at Cornell, and they might not have a problem with the work experience.
Hey, dude, you should be looking at Harvard Business School, and if they don't give you money, go into debt. Believe me, you'll make it back in about 20 minutes after you graduate.
Wow.
That's true, okay?
Well, that's called business. That's what businessmen do, They borrow money and they have big ideas, and then they pay the money back, and the money was trivial. Okay.
And we can call that leverage in education as well.
Yeah, right.
From all the horror stories of Howard that I've seen from this channel and heard from many different people, I thought my chances were pretty slim there.
Horror admission stories, or how bad the place is once you get there?
Oh no, the application stories, like just they put in everything they want and just pray to God that they get.
I will say this: if you had 2 more years of work experience and a promotion, man, your odds at Harvard are really good.
Look, as I comment a lot in our handicapping, admissions at past a certain point is lottery-like. Okay, they're going to have Harvard is going to be faced with 8, 9 Indian guys like you, and they're going to have to admit 2, and the other, so that the difference between the 2 they take and this, I'm just speaking proportionally here, not absolute numbers. The 2 they take and the 7 they reject. The difference is, if you reran that experiment, it might be a different 2 people, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And not only that, he stands out because
but you've got a lot going for you.
He went to an American university that's respected. Number two, he works for an American company in industrial supplies, essentially. And number three, he already has an H-1B visa.
And he's got and I think this theater background is something that can really make you differentiate you from the stereotype, Asian,
geeky nerd-like people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and cricket leadership.
And the cricket, right?
Yeah,
Cricket.
it's a big
theater
deal.
and cricket.
It's a package.
Yeah.
One point that I would like to make about my current job is that this is also a leadership development program. So it's like a rotation.
Right. Yeah. Rotational leadership
good.
program in STEM. Right. That's right. That's correct. You got a lot going for you, buddy. Apply to Harvard.
The way to spin that, incidentally, is to say that you were chosen for this and you've been exposed to leadership opportunities in your new environment. And that's really convinced you that you want to go for the MBA right away.
Oh,
good point.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Also, let me say this. If you apply and don't get in, there's like no punishment.
Right. You reapply.
Reapply. They don't hold it against
you. Don't get what you want.
Particularly if what was keeping you back the first time was that you were too young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing that could keep you back, I would think. Really.
Well, I don't think schools care anymore. Do you, John? Do you know? You got data on this? Age of entering class.
You know that Harvard and Stanford like them really young anyway.
Right. That's my point.
And basically, if he were 2 + 2, he's basically got his 2 in, right?
Right. This would be 2 + 2 after the fact. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So,
you got a bright future there, buddy.
Okay. So take Sandy's advice and apply to Harvard. Take my advice and apply to Cornell.
Okay. Yes. Those are two additions to my list now.
All right. Well, good luck to you. We have a new year. Very hopeful for this new year. Sandy, maybe you'll be able to get out of your apartment in Boston there.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm getting ready to take a solitary walk with my face mask, me and my mask. It's depressing. As we all know.
Indeed. I'm about to do the same with my dog, Henry.
Wow.
All right. Good luck to you and everyone out there. Happy New Year. We hope for the best in 2021. And if you're applying this cycle, good luck. We're rooting for you. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants and Sandy Kreisberg in Boston with Fridays with Sandy.